He's a child. He is a kid, guys. Let me make my ground. Let me make my stance. He is a kid. He's 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 a kid. He is a child. Elio is 17. It is legal in Italy, but just because it's legal does not make it right. Hi, Sweet Pete's. Honestly, if you do hate the setup, just let me know. Hey, Sweet Pete's. It's Lala. For the love of God, I sure hope the first episode of GAM is out already. It's editing it is a B word, okay? My hand hurts, okay? I have like, it's like cramping up, okay? I can feel my veins like pulsating. It really hurts to even hold my phone as I read. It's not fun, guys. Hi, this is another episode of Movies and Makeup, or Makeup and Movies. I don't remember exactly, but it's one of those variations. And this is GAM edition.
Who you are for your pride.
The way these movies and makeup videos will go is, I will start out with a synopsis of the movie. So even if you haven't seen the movie, you'll know what happened. So here's a spoiler alert. Then there will be a film geek moment. All of those super good and super bad parts of the movies will be talked about in great-ish detail. And finally, I'll rate the movies in 3 categories. All ratings are between 1 through 5, by the way. Is it a good movie? Rotten Tomato style, point blank period, with a T, honey. Is there some solid diversity, representation, inclusion type of ish? Is the main gay lead actually gay? Is this poor black American actually some rich British guy? I don't know. We need to watch the movie. And finally, was the message of the movie told well, and was there a point to it? In this day and age, we see so much trauma porn type of movies, like we get it, slavery was bad. Are you just making the audience sad for 2 hours, or are you inspiring actual change? We don't need another them situation. So, what movie are we talking about? The last episode of GAM, which is also the first episode of GAM, is, oh my gosh, I hate editing, and I already knew that, but oh my goodness, it just is up in another level. Sometimes it's like therapeutic, but other times it's like, please stop it, Cal, you little evil devil. Let me give her a treat. Editing is so annoying when someone talks a lot, and the worst part is it's me talking a lot, and like I know what I'm saying, but it's like I know others may not know what I'm saying, and some of the things I'm saying is just not important. Like the entire synopsis of the movie, like we get it, things happened, watch the movie. I'm gonna give a brief synopsis starting today, which is thankful because today's movie is going to be Call Me By Your Name. And, you know, after watching the movie again, I can tell you nothing happens. Can we all sit here and admit that nothing actually happens in Call Me By Your Name? 2 people meet. The younger one, we'll talk about that later, has a crush on the older one. You know, there's a kiss scene there, a sex scene that we don't see there. And then the older one leaves. We'll talk about that too. That's the entire movie. That is the entire movie of Call Me By Your Name. But I guess I'm supposed to talk about it in a little bit better detail. I think now that it's been years later since the movie has come out, we can admit that part of the reason why Call Me By Your Name was like such a big deal is because those 2 cute white boys. Can we be real? Those are 2 cute white boys and they kiss. Little tweens and teenage girls were just losing their mind. They were like, Timothy Chalamet is gonna be kissed. Besides that, actually watching the movie, it's a good movie. I'll admit, it's a good movie, but did it deserve all the hype? Like, I get it. Timothy cries while looking out of the fire, but does that mean he deserves an Oscar? People were like, the kid deserves an Oscar because that scene. I don't think so, and I don't mean that in a mean way, but it wasn't such a spectacular role. Can we be real with ourselves? I don't know if that's Oscar worthy. Now we kind of don't know what it means to be Oscar worthy because we know that award shows don't actually mean anything. I guess I should start out by telling you guys what the heck happens in the movie. Movie opens up with Elio's family. His dad is a professor and an art history major or something, an archaeologist. I think it's an archaeologist. They look at old statues. Art history. They seem to be like an art history major. Every year he has a student come over, spend the summer with him in Italy and his family. They're embraced into the Italian culture and they learn about art history. This year, the student who's visiting the family and visiting Italy is a guy named Oliver, okay? White American, I think, you know, white normal American boy, okay? He's 24, and that's a bit of a mess already. Elio, in the beginning, is not on for Oliver. He thinks he's arrogant.
Sei in ritardo. Non vi sembra ineducato come dice later? Arrogante.
I don't think he's arrogant.
Just watch. This is how he'll say goodbye to us when the time comes. With his later.
Meanwhile, we'll have to put up with him for 6 long weeks, won't we, darling?
I think he's shy. You'll grow to like him.
But he's a pretty good student, right? Elio learns a bit more about him, and it kind of becomes more clear throughout the movie that the only reason that Elio dislikes him is because he's trying to ignore the fact that he likes him. Elio, learns that he likes him so much that he's like, I cannot ignore this anymore. I need to tell Oliver. Oliver been new, and Oliver is also, totally has the heart for Elio. We see that throughout the movie with the subtle way that he touches Elio's shoulders and all that stuff. But Oliver's like, we cannot do this. Elio is like, okay. Elio is obsessed. He's infatuated. This is his first actual love. He may be flirting with this chick with really big hair, but she's nothing. She means nothing to him. Oliver is where it's at.
No. We should go.
Why?
I know myself, okay? And we've been good. We haven't done anything to be ashamed of, and that's a good thing. I want to be good. Okay?
I already am irritated by this space. I will be right back. I'm about to go pick up makeup right now, actually, okay? Because I cannot do this. How the heck did I miss that? Well, at least we're here. Okay, let's hope. Subscribe to this channel if you want me to be able to afford a new car. Woo! Okay, so I bought 2 things. One is the Conceal and Fix from Revolution. And this is in this shade Deep Tan. I wanted it to be a bit brighter than my actual skin tone. They did not have a lot of shades either at Ulta or Period. And then I bought Physicians Formula Organic Real Nourishing Lipstick. It was on sale for like $4 and some change. So I was like, why not? Oh, that's why people don't like it. Okay. And also, outfit change, because I think this gives me more Call Me By Your Name vibes anyway. Okay, that's way brighter than I thought it was. But, wow. And this is way too much. Okay, one more time. Okay, a lot goes a long way. I don't remember where I left off, honestly. Oliver eventually gives into Elio's advances, and, they're like an item now, guys. But it's all in secret, except people kind of know.
I'll see you at midnight.
I'm so sorry for the lighting right around here. It's the sun. If I could stop the sun, I would, but I don't have that power, do I? So get over yourselves. As they're together, they know that there was a very clear clock on their relationships. I mean, once the summer is over, Oliver has to go home. He's not from Italy. He doesn't visit Italy regularly. He has his own life at home. This is just a summer course he's doing.
Sorry. It's okay. I don't want you to go.
Eventually, it is time for Oliver to head home, and the parents are like, it would be good for Elio to, you know, take the trip with him. Not all the way home, but to the train, right? So they have that trip, that one last romantic trip. And it's filled with beautiful cinematography, some drunk dancing, and if you watch costuming, because sometimes it's hard in a movie to find out what is special about costuming, or like what was the why do they have an entire costuming department if they're just gonna wear a polo all the way through. But this is in part of the movie where you should see just how compatible they are, because they're wearing complementary colors. It looks like Christmas. You see that Oliver's always wearing like very notable American brand like polo, like I said, Ralph Lauren all the time, button-up tops, more structured type of clothes, because that's the style that American clothes has. Cal, stop it, Cal, stop it. And Elio is shirtless more often, showing his his stance of freedom because he's younger, his more Italian, French type of culture influencing him, and that he's younger and is not a part of the structured world just yet. Finally, the trip is over. Oliver has to go home, and Elio has to stay. They call each other by their own names, which I don't get. Call me by your name. I don't get that. I don't call me by your name. I don't get it. Lil Nas explain. Elio, Oliver. I don't get it. What is going on? Why? What does that mean? Call me by your name. I don't get. Maybe it's because I've never fallen in love. And finally, it's winter time, and they get a call from Oliver. Elio answers, and he's like, Oliver, hi. And that's when Oliver reveals he's getting married. Elio thinks that is fantastic.
Elio.
Remember everything.
And we are left with the movie being sad and crushed, and Timothy Chalamet cries while looking into the fireplace as a bug continuously kind of crawls up on his skin, and the whole time I'm just like, just slap the bug away, baby. He never slaps the bug away. And it's really sad, and that's the entire movie. Yeah, there's some subplots in there, like there's this chick with really big hair that Elio has sex with, even though he knows full and well that he's not into her, which kind of breaks her heart because it's very clear that she has a big crush on him. But, you know, they're both teenagers figuring themselves out, so we don't hold them too accountable. Oliver is also flirting with somebody, but he's a grown adult, so you'd think he could keep his penis in his pants. But if he could, would this movie even exist? Let's talk about why this is a little problematic before I rate the movie. Grooming is never good. even if it's aesthetically pleasing. Elio is 17, Oliver is 24. What? That sounds kind of weird. Part of me is like, I know depending on your culture and depending on the time your parents or grandparents were together, 17 and 24 may be the age that your parents got married or your grandparents got married. It's not even a 10-year age difference. Plenty of people are in relationships with that difference right now. So why do we say how problematic it is in this movie? Well, one, just because people are part of have these age differences in marriage and stuff doesn't mean it's technically great. I mean, we can argue that the power dynamic of the movie isn't insanely bad, considering the fact that Oliver is 24 while Elio is 17. But Oliver is also living in Elio's parents' house, you know? So how large is the power dynamic? It's not like Oliver is like his uncle or someone, you know? Hey, editing me. My opinion on that has changed quite a bit because, like there's not a power dynamic of like someone is in charge of someone else, but even just the age dynamic is has quite a large power difference, you know, like the maturity that someone who's 24 has compared to someone who's 17. When you were 17, you're still a kid. That power dynamic is still very clear throughout the movie. I mean, he even says, Oliver says in the movie, don't worry, I'm trying to become a doctor or something during some point, a massage, I think. And that just show, you're a grown man. Elio hasn't done any of those things. Elio is bragging to his parents about maybe having sex with someone. That's a kid. That's a child. And that's who Oliver's trying to get with. So if I say anything throughout this video, me kind of defending it, it's only because I know so many people were big fans of this movie and I'm trying to be like a nice person. But it's really hard to defend this. And I also know people who have that age gap and their parents may have met when they were 17 and 24 and yada, yada, yada. And I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But like I was saying in this video, just because it has happened doesn't mean, it's a positive thing. They're a child and adults shouldn't try to get with the children. But another standpoint is Oliver knows what he's doing is bad, at least a little. Part of the reason he thinks it's bad is because it's gay and he's Jewish, and I talked about this in the last movie. There's a real correlation between Jewish men and gay men. Don't know. I'm not going to say anything about that correlation. I just know that there is one, okay? But another reason he must know it's wrong is because there's age difference. In fact, at this point, he gets married that winter. He has plans to get married that winter. He calls, he's like, I have a fiance, I'm getting married. Which means he was with her during the summer, like not like literally like by her side, but they were a couple while he was out doing the summer, presumably. You can presume that, right? Because people don't get married within knowing each other a couple of months, or you shouldn't at least. And Oliver can understand this even more than Elio. A child could understand that this relationship was doomed to fail. They don't live near each other. They're not going to stay near each other. He has a girlfriend waiting for him at home that he's planning to propose to by the winter time. Why did he act upon, this wanting, blooming romance? I mean, yes, he was a gay man in the 80s in America. He probably knew this is one of his only chances to act upon the feelings he was having. But at the same time, that's almost a little selfish, so he can have this moment of glimpse of happiness, knowing full and well that, this is gonna hurt when it's done. And maybe he's okay to deal with the pain when the upcoming pain of knowing that he's not gonna be with Elio after the summer, that he's gonna go home, go back to pretending to be straight and go marry a woman. And he may be a bit okay with that because he's older and he understands how the world runs. But Elio's a child. Elio, heartbreak hurts a little bit more for a kid than it does for an adult. Because adults know, or they should know, that your true love doesn't need to be one person. And it's kind of annoying because throughout the film, they make it seem like it does. Even the way Elio's father says,
I may have come close, but I never had what you two have. Something always held me back, or stood in the way. How you live your life is your business. Just remember, our hearts and our bodies are given to us only once. And before you know it, your heart's worn out. And as for your body, there comes a point when no one looks at it, much less wants to come near it.
as if saying that there's only one true love and that he's almost made it with his wife, with his current wife, but that his son, his 17-year-old child son, found an even more perfect match with an adult man that he knows he's never going to get to be with again. I mean, I know he is just comforting his son, trying to say, hey, I understand, I know you're gay, and I love you, no matter what, okay? Love is a love is a love. But another part of me is like, there was this kind of manipulation that we see perpetrated through Oliver, the way he knows he's gonna leave, knows he's gonna marry someone else, and all that stuff, and the way that but still, you know, allows Elio, still falls into Elio's advances, and the way that his parents and the father outwardly accepts that, allows it.
That must be so confusing for a little girl.
Now, I also want to say what I just said. It is a romance. It's a romance cheesy movie. It's in these romance cheesy movies, we all hear about this destiny. There's only one true love, and I'm never gonna meet someone I love as much as I love you now. I truly don't think that that's what true love is. I'm not saying true love doesn't exist, but I am saying that true love doesn't need to be one specific person. I think we kind of need to grow up off of that stance. And yeah, Elio's a kid, so he's okay with that, but I don't think it's right for Oliver to allow Elio to fall into this this dream of his. Hey, editing me, I don't mean what I just said in a way like we know they're both gay, obviously, and but their true love could lie in the heart of a woman, and that Elio just needs to grow up and straighten up. I don't mean that. What I mean is, I think that Oliver and these older people in Elio's life shouldn't be encouraging his behavior. Like, it's okay to have a childhood crush, but I think telling him and allowing him to feel like this is the one and only time he can experience true love is unnecessary, and it causes an unnecessary heartbreak when it could have just been a childhood crush, and the parents can still accept the fact that their kid is gay without having him, without having him go out with a 24-year-old man. Because you're putting the kid through heartbreak for no reason, it feels. Gosh. Which leads me to my number 2 thing about the movie. And this may not be too much about this movie specifically, but this could be about gay films in general. Between men though, okay? Because I have a whole different thing on women that I may talk about if I ever watch. I haven't watched this, but I heard opinions on it, which may lead me to watch it and talk about why it may be problematic. Don't know yet. Blue is the warmest color. Should I watch it? Tell me in the comments down below. There's something about when we see gay male characters in televisions, in movies, in books, there seems like we allow them to be in unhealthy relationships more often than not. Some reason we think when a guy is going through abuse with another guy, and it's less harmful to them simply because they're men. But abusive relationships are bad inherently. I'm just saying we see a lot of unhealthy, or could be unhealthy relationships when it features gay couples who are men, and that's a bit weird to me. That's obviously not in all movies. I'm not saying we now can't show homosexual relationships on television or whatever, and I'm also not saying that's not important to sometimes see abusive relationships, but we have to make it clear in the films and the movie, in the form of entertainment, that this is in fact an unhealthy, abusive, or two different powerful dynamic type of relationship. We need to make that clear so we're not romanticizing something that is toxic. Finally, fetishization. Last editing me, I promise. I just wanted to say I'm about to cut out everything after this because I go on a long rant. Well, by the end of it, I can't decide on an answer, so you tell me. I was wondering, part of me thinks that part of me is like, is the movie fetishizing this gay couple, or is it just all the fangirls who did that? You know what I mean? And is it, and can I call it fetishization just because it showed a sex scene, which it didn't technically show, but you know what I mean? I feel, yeah. I think it was, I'm kind of settling on fangirls kind of just over-sexualize the couple and stuff during, while I was in this extreme, because it's a bunch of like freshmen and middle school kids watching two cute guys kiss. So, you know, what can you expect? But I also was going to say we see a bunch of fetishization with gay couples a lot in the media in general. And that's usually more between women, but it happens between men too. Yeah. This is way better. Can we also say it blends way better on this base? There always does seem to be that obsession, though, because teenage girls were also obsessed with Twilight. They were obsessed with Divergent, and they were obsessed with, what was that movie by John Green Oliver? The Hello thing? Is it real fetishization between a gay couple? Or is it just teenage girls obsessing over another romance movie? And you guys talk about that as I have a film geek moment. Woo! Film geek moment. Film geek moment is when we just talk about the greats and the not so great aspects of this movie. I already had a little film geek moment when I talked about the clothes. So to change a bit of the subject from clothes, let's talk about cinematography. Every scene, you could pause and be like, that is a picture. Oh, that is a picture. Oh, that is a picture. I could get that printed out. Maybe not the scene when he's wiping cum off of him, but all the other scenes, like, yeah, beautiful moments. Now, Italy in general is just a pretty place, so not done, you're gonna have some pretty scenes. But this was taken to another level. I mean, there wasn't any central frames. No one was just dead in the center. Everything was on the side. There are moments when before Ilio confesses his love to Oliver, and you could see how he was always gazing at Oliver, even when Oliver wasn't looking at him. This is done in a whole lot of films in very basic ways, but also very cool ways, like I'm about to say in this movie. It was almost done with every time Oliver was talking, but not done every time Elio was talking, to really show how much Elio was always looking at Oliver. Even when Oliver and Elio weren't the ones discussing, conversating with each other, and Oliver was talking to someone else, Elio was the other person in view, not the person Oliver was talking to. And that was kind of really cool to show about the whole crushing scene. Also in the way the actors move. I can't remember the technical term of like the way the director placed them or the way they were told to move and whatever. And there were these little just hand moments where you could be like, oh, they're not saying anything, but you can just see how much they like each other. And in a romance movie, that's super cute. And that's from the very beginning when Oliver is just rubbing his shoulder. And it's even shown more when Elio is always just trying to find an excuse to hold Oliver's hand. Oh, there was also some beautiful lines.
The meaning of the river flowing is not that all things are changing so that we cannot encounter them twice, but that some things stay the same only by changing.
I just love it in writing when we mention a piece of writing that goes directly in hand with the movie. Those are some of the main moments, geek moments, that I just love. And then finally, the actual writing. I mean, the movie is originally a book, and pause. I talked a bit about some of the problematic parts of this movie, but is there problematic parts from the book specifically, or about the author, that is reflected in the books, thus reflected in this movie? Tell me in the comments down below. And also, if I did not mention the dramas between the actors, because we get it. Armor, whatever his name is a cannibal. But I have been thinking, since we are on a pause topic, is cannibalism that bad? Now, wait, let me finish. It's not like he's actually eating people, and it's all consensual, right? Isn't it? I don't know. Did someone claim that he ate them? Okay, back to the point of the movie. Let's rate it. All the critiques I mentioned will be influencing my ratings to a degree. So Rotten Tomatoes, is the movie just straight up a good movie? Nothing happens, but it's written pretty. They have pretty lines, so I kind of like it. Because of its problematic aspects, I'm gonna give it a 3. The cinematography and the lines, the literature, kept it from not being a 1, because it is problematic. 17 and 24 is not appropriate to romanticize. Diversity. It's about gay people played by straight people, presumably straight. It's kind of bad that we're assuming they're straight though at the same time. But what I can say as a fact, everyone's white. The entire movie is white. And I don't need anyone to tell me, well, they're Italian. That's white. Well, they're Jewish. They're white Jewish people. So for diversity, it's like a 1, right? I woke my cat up. Look at my cat. Oh, she's looking at the light. I think the message of the movie is pretty clear, in my opinion. I think the message of the movie is embrace those fleeting moments. Obviously, the way the message was told is problematic, considering one of the people who are supposed to embrace those fleeting moments is a 17-year-old kid, and the thing he's embracing is a 24-year-old man. Overall, I don't know if I'm supposed to criticize whether I think the message is a good one to tell or not. But at the end of the day, I am a romantic at heart. Oh. Ugh. So for message telling, it told this message. It told it well. It told it in a pretty way without indulging into the sex scenes, which I will say out right now, if they had indulged in the sex scenes or something, I would have tanked this movie. I would have tanked it. I would be outraged right now talking to you. But they didn't do that. So it's going to be I'm going to give it a 4 because I don't want people to get mad at me. Overall, Call Me By Your Name is a movie of its time. And I mean that it was during a time when romance movies were like at a high, and when Timothy Chalamet was breaking into being, the skinny white boy of the year. But we should not depict romance like that. Yeah, it's set in the 80s, but we're watching it today. Please, if you're going to be a filmmaker or something, if you're going to be a writer, if you're going to do something and you're going to show romance, let's show a more healthy one. And I also think there's something to be said that kind of breaks your heart. Like, they can't get together. And that, I don't know what it's about, us wanting to see people fail. That really hurts. Do I recommend you watching the movie? If you watch the movie, I don't know if you should give money to the people who made it. So, we'll have to take that for how you want to take it. If you watch the movie, you'll just have to sit there and pretend like Leo's 18. It could have been just straight up a good movie if there wasn't that crazy age gap. He's a child. Whatever, that's my opinion. Watch it or don't watch it, okay? Don't hold me accountable. Don't hold me accountable for nothing. I have nothing to do with this movie. Anyways, do we see the influence with the blue eye? We always see a beautiful blue sky in the movie. We have a light there to show the beautiful white clouds and white people. We got these pink pink notes everywhere because it's the 80s. And even this top, I'm happy I changed it. I was trying to go a polo top earlier, but it was white and that was giving me the wrong vibes. This button up gives me more Call Me By Your Name, especially during the 80s dancing scene when Timothée Chalamet does that weird dance. And then finally, the chain under the top. Now, I'm always wearing this chain pretty much, but Ilio also always is wearing a chain under his top. So, there you go. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm sorry that the lighting is just all over the place, but you know, you clicked this video, not me. We'll see what I talk about next. We'll see if this even gets uploaded. Thank you so much for watching this video. More videos to come, probably, hopefully, maybe. Get into it. What type of synopsis do you want more? Do you want synopsises like the one I did today, Call Me By Your Name, kind of quick and easy so we can indulge about certain moments of the movie and whether the certain aspects of the movie? Or do you want me to give a more thorough, you know, character breakdown type of synopsis like in But I'm a Cheerleader? Oh, you haven't seen But I'm a Cheerleader? Link down below. Go watch it. I'm sure it's long, but think about how long it took me to edit, okay? Catch me on Instagram at Lala the Guru. I don't post there a lot, but sometimes I do. And catch me even more on Sailor Marie Baby. I post there more, but not about makeup, so... And I think that's all, baby. Thanks for watching this video. Love your big nose. Bye-bye. Mwah. If you eat a girl out on her period, is that not the same thing? Yeah, you didn't think of that. It's like, I eat girls on my period. I don't. I eat girls on my period. That's not what I was trying to say. I eat girls out on my period. No, once again, wrong. I eat girls out who are on their period. This is another moment where I do not want you to cut what I'm saying out of context. And having a cannibal fetish. It's the same thing at the end of the day, right?